Hey, our Algebra 2 Semester 2 kids, I almost said calculus. This is your lesson with Dr. Callahan for week 8, Wednesday. There we go. So go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions. At this point, you guys should only have like 6 boxes empty. If you have more than 6 boxes empty, keep in mind you guys do have your YouTube channel that you can refer to. This is week 8, and this is our last topic of the section, which is on solving rational functions. If you take a look at your YouTube channel for this class, you guys should come to this page. There are 33 videos, and so everything that you guys have since like yesterday, which is week 8 Tuesday, it's already up there, so you have that ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Solving irrational expressions. This is week 8 Wednesday. We're going to be finishing this up for the rest of the week, and then we're going to review, and then we'll be done for it by Monday of next week, and I'll give you guys a brand new packet on that Tuesday. Okay, so in case your packet, you're like, oh, it doesn't look like it's filled out, or I haven't finished anything yet, make sure you watch the videos because it literally will go over the steps with you guys. You don't have to be good at math to pass this class, but you have to be present and you have to turn in the work, obviously. So just keep that in mind. So if you are not here last class, this is what you missed. We actually got started with solving rational expressions or rational equations, and this was the handout that we had. Does anybody need a copy of this? If you do from yesterday, I do have extras right here, so please go ahead and grab a copy. Yesterday was very note intensive, so today I thought maybe we'll do something a little bit more artsy. So it's our day 2 of solving rational functions, and I'm gonna have you guys color by symbols, and you're gonna make your own mosaic as an artist, but incorporating math. So you're gonna come up here, go ahead and grab the template that I have right here. And then also you're going to need your color pencils. So color pencils right here. Everybody back around. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Is the fact of what you will need to pass. Keep in mind that you need to have your Math Excel. You have a quiz every week in addition to a homework assignment every week. Given the fact that this week is only like a 4-day week, there is no quiz this week on Math Excel. So you only have your Math Excel week 8 homework on there. So that's the only one that you guys have this week, okay? It's always due on Sunday by 11 p.m. So I will be updating your grade with that. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Everybody have this right here. This is going to be your template that you need to color with. And go ahead and put your name on that piece of paper that was just given to you guys. You're going to go ahead and color it with your color pencils. These are the questions. This is what you're going to be turning in with your answers and solutions. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So these are the questions right here. And your answers are right here. Okay. So we need to go ahead and match that. These are the colors. Once you match it to the symbols, whenever you see the symbols on your template, you're going to color that light blue. Okay, so let's get started with the first one. So you need to have a light blue color, but let's solve the question first. I will solve one with you guys, and then I expect you guys to solve the second one by yourself. So let's take a look at number 1. So for number 1, your goal is to figure out what x is equal to. And so we're going to put a 1 right there. And then what we're going to do is let's go ahead and cross multiply them. So cross multiply. So I have 4 times 2 minus 3 equals 8 times x minus 5. Okay, that's the first step. Then from there, remember, you're going to go ahead and distribute the numbers on the outside. So you have an 8 minus 12x, 8x minus 40. I always like to have the x's on the left side, so I'm going to get rid of this -8 or +8 with a -8. And then you have to counter that by getting rid of that +8 on the left side. Opposite of +8 is a -8. So you're going to go ahead and subtract it on both sides. And then we can cancel. The 8 negative 8 cancels, 8x negative 8x cancels. Negative 12 minus 8 is a negative 20x. Negative 40 and negative 8 is a negative 48. And then when you go ahead and divide this, it's a 48 over 20. And I'm going to have to go ahead and reduce this. So if I reduce it, what is that going to be? I can go ahead and reduce it by 2, which will give me a 24 over 10. But then I notice I can keep going by reducing it by 2, which will give me a 12 over 5. So look at your answer on the upper right corner. Which one gives you a 12 over 5? Okay, so 12 over 5 is going to be right over here. So anytime you see the symbol B, beta, you're going to go ahead and color it light blue. Okay, so on your answer sheet, which is that grid, okay, you're going to color anything with a beta light blue. So what that will look like is like this. So I'm going to grab my grid. And I'm going to go ahead and put it right over here. So I see the beta right here, just color it blue. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yep. Bless you. All right, if you are done with this, I'm gonna have you guys work on number 2. And if you take a look at number 2, you're gonna be using a light orange to complete this problem here. So give it a try. if you want to take a look at question number 2, this is my step, and I have x equals 3, which means that if you match it, anytime you have that delta or that triangle symbol on your grid, you're going to go ahead and color it light orange. So go ahead and take a moment and do that. Okay, for number 3 and number 4, you need sky blue again, and then also you need aqua green. So I'm going to go ahead and do question number 4 with you guys, and then I'm going to have you guys do question number 3 on your own. Okay, so take a look at number 4. For number 4, notice that you have x minus 2 and x plus 6. So this is the one where you need a common denominator. Okay, lowest common denominator, which means it's x minus 2, because you're going to have to include both. And then also x plus 6 right there. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and multiply this. What am I missing here? X plus 6 on the left side. We're going to do that top and bottom. And then I'm also going to be missing x minus 3, or I'm sorry, x minus 2. And we're going to do that top and bottom. And my pen stopped working, so let's give that another try. All right, so then looking at this right here, my common denominator here on the left side, x minus 2 times x plus 6. In the numerator, you're going to have x plus 1. And x plus 6 equals, on the right side, x plus 6, x minus 2 on the bottom. But then on top, you have x minus 3 and x minus 2. Remember I said if these two are exactly the same in the denominator, what do you guys do to them? You just cross them out. And then you just simply focus on the numerator to set these equal to each other, okay? And so because both of them are in parentheses, you would have to FOIL them, okay? So FOIL. So let's start off with the top one right here in the green. Let's FOIL that first, okay? What that's going to give you is it's going to give you an x, that's first, squared, plus your outer is 6x, inside is 1x, so 6 plus 1 is 7x, and your last is 1 times 6, which is just 6. Set that equal to this one right here. If you go ahead and FOIL it, x squared minus 5x plus 6. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Now looking at this, what do you see that's the same on both sides? Does everyone see how there is a x squared here and an x squared here? Does everybody see that? So then what you're going to do is you're just going to cancel that because it just cancels out. Then you're left with a 7x plus 6 on the left, 5x plus 6 on the right. And you guessed it, we're going to move that 5x on both sides. But then we're also going to get rid of that positive 6 with a negative 6. So then that part cancels. 7 minus 5 is a 2x. That cancels. 0. Divided by 2 on both sides. What's 0 divided by 2? 0. So then I'm going to take a look over here, and I want to use aqua green. 0 is equal to this symbol, and anytime you see that symbol right there, you're going to go ahead and color your canvas aqua green. You might be able to pick a different green because I'm kind of limited since I'm using my tablet. Oh, I have it. Hold on a second. Let me finish this. Is Melanie here today? Melanie? Melanie? Where are you, my dear? What's your last name? I'm already taking attendance. One? One, you might want to grab this right here in the color pencil. All right, you guys, now I'm gonna have you guys go ahead and try number 3 on your own, and you're gonna be coloring that with sky blue. So give that a try on your own. So once again, if you guys are done, try the next one on your own. I got a 22 on this one. So what that means is that with your sky blue, and if your sky blue is like a different color than the previous one, make sure you choose a different color. So whenever you see that little half circle, you're gonna color it blue. Does anybody know what that half circle is called with Greek? Does anybody know? No? Like, I don't know what it's called, so I was curious. Okay, let's take a look at number 5 and 6, you guys. So for number 5 and 6, we're looking at blue and aqua green. Both of these questions look fairly difficult. I'm just gonna go over number 5 and see where you guys get to. If you take a look at question number 5, your lowest common denominator, LCD, and remember there's a 1 underneath the 2 right there, is going to be x squared, because remember it has to include everything, like all the biggest letters and all the biggest number. So if that is going to be your lowest common denominator, then if you look at the 1 in the bottom, you're going to multiply by x squared top and bottom for the first fraction. If you look at the second fraction, you already have an x, so you just need 1 more x for the second fraction. If you look at the third fraction, it doesn't need to have anything. It's perfect. It's good. And on the right side, just keep it at 0, because ultimately you're going to divide it by, or you're going to go ahead and use that 0 to your advantage. So let's rewrite the 3 fractions. I have x squared 2 times x squared is 2x squared, first fraction. Denominator is x squared for the second fraction. 13 times x is 13x. Plus 20 over x squared equals 0. X squared is my denominator. I'm going to take the numerator and add them together. So 2x squared minus 13x plus 20 equals 0. Put a 1 underneath the 0, and then you can go ahead and cross multiply them, okay? So everything that I'm highlighting right now in yellow, you're going to multiply together. And everything that I have in orange right now, you're going to cross multiply together. So the first one I have is 2x squared minus 13x plus 20 is equal to x squared times 0 is just 0. So then looking at this, there's a 2 right there. So remember how I showed you how to multiply this? You're going to go ahead and do the 2 times 20, which gives you a 40. Your middle number is negative 13. So you got to ask yourself, what times what gives me a 40? But when I add those numbers, gives me a negative 13. I think negative 8, negative 5 works, right? Because that added together gives me a negative 13. So my temporary answer is x minus 8, x minus 5 equals 0. But do you remember how you multiply by the 2 right there? And you have to divide it by the 2, like that. 8 divided by 2 is a negative 4. 2 doesn't go into 5, so I'm going to do 2x minus 5 equals 0. And then you just solve for it. If I solve for this, my first answer is x equals 4. That's my first answer. Then my second answer is going to be a 5 over 2. And these are my 2 answers. So I don't see the 4 up there, but I do see the 5 over 2. And so with the exclamation point, you're going to go ahead and color that just regular blue. So 5 over 2 is just going to be regular 2, or regular blue. All right, you guys, we're gonna finish the very last few. I have number 7 and number 8, and we have about 5 minutes to do it, so I think we can finish it just fine. Let's do number 8. That one is obviously violet, so it's a different color. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna factor this fraction right there with a trinomial. What times what gives me a 15? So I'm thinking, but when I add it together, it gives me an 8. I'm thinking about 5 and 3. Do you guys kind of agree? Because when I add it together, it'll be a negative 8, but it has to have a negative 5 and a negative 3, okay? Because it has to be a positive 15. So then automatically, you know your lowest common denominator is x minus 3, x minus 5, okay? So look at the first fraction. What is it missing? It's missing an x minus 5. Second fraction, what is it missing? X minus 3. Last fraction, it's not missing anything. It has both of those. So you don't need to do anything with the last one. You also know that your denominator is just going to get canceled, right? Because they're going to be exactly the same. So I'm just going to cross it out. Don't even need to worry about it. The only thing you need to focus on is your numerator right here. So I need to distribute a few numbers to figure out what my numerator is going to be. So 1 times x minus 5 is just x minus 5. Plus x times x times -3 is going to give you a positive x squared minus 3x equals -2. Now I just need to go ahead and solve for x. Okay, so let's combine some like terms. X squared, x minus 3x is a -2x. I need to move that -2 over to the left side. So -5 plus 2 is a -3 equals 0. Factor it out. What times what gives me a -3, but when I add it together, gives me a -2, -3 and 1. So when you solve for this, x equals 3 is my first answer. X equals -1 is my second answer. Okay, so then looking at this right here, I see that 3 -1 gives me that spade, and it's going to be violet. So with the violet, when you see a -1, go ahead and color that purple. And it's an upside down heart. Now, some of you guys are moving ahead, which is great. If you already did number 7, you can color it light blue. If you would like to take it home and finish it and then turn it in next class tomorrow, that's fine. Or if you are ready to turn it in, you're welcome to turn it in right now. I just need the template. You can keep the work so that we can use it on your paper. Does anybody need the notes from yesterday? Everybody good? So if you're ready to turn it in, you guys, you're welcome to do that. If you have missing work, please come up and see me.